Hi, my name's John. A year ago, I'd never even heard of Fruits Basket. That was until my girlfriend introduced the anime to me.
And I'm Allie. I've been reading the manga since I was in 3rd grade.
We loved watching season 1 together so much, and we'd have all these crazy long discussions about what happened in each episode.
And for season 2, we thought it would be really fun to share our conversations with you.
So join us today as we talk about season 2, episode 3, Shall We Go and Get You Changed? So before we actually jump in with our recap and theories about this episode, we wanted to give a little bit of a disclaimer that we've actually watched up to episode 5 of the anime so far, and we're recording these retroactively. So it's going to be more of that theorizing and recap as opposed to more of a review. So with that out of the way, where are we starting?
Well, we're starting out on quite a somber note. We're in Yuki's dream, and he's dreaming about an interaction that he had with his mom. And she says, "So what if you are a tool?"
That whole interaction, what a way to start an episode.
Yeah.
Because, it's always kind of like, ugh, to see like a child just like that distressed. But what's even worse is that when he did wake up, it's not like he woke up in like a cold sweat or anything or really distressed. He woke up silently resigned to this recurring awful dream of his mother. And I don't know, that made me sadder than if he woke up freaking out.
Yeah, and he just goes to wash his face and looks in the mirror and thinks, "Oh, it's been a while since I've had that dream." Like, not even really distraught, just numb to the pain at this point.
Yeah. And then...
Then anime.
and then he's in a nightmare.
Then he's in a new nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, then Ayame just bursts in.
One of the first things that he says is that Yuki sleeps in until noon. He says when the sun is high in the sky or something like that. And so, bringing it back to the last episode, I mean, really just this whole season, Prince Yuki eats natto, Prince Yuki has a messy room, and Prince Yuki sleeps in. We're just totally breaking down his princely characteristics. Yeah,
the more and more we learn about him, he seems like he's very calm, cool, and collected on the outside, but the more we peel back, the more we see how he's just he doesn't have a high self-esteem. He doesn't really know what he wants to do with his life, as we saw in the last episode, and we get a little bit more of in this episode. And everything is just disheveled. It's like his exterior is, his environment is reflecting what's kind of going on inside.
Yeah, exactly.
And then poor Yuki, him and Ayame are talking, and Ayame rips his shirt, and I don't know about you, but if someone, like, rips my clothes or something, even if we're just, like, messing around, I get upset.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I am fumed.
Yeah, or like when you're playing with one of your friend's pets and then suddenly their cat's nail gets caught in your favorite jeans that you just bought, and then you're sad.
Okay, yes, my cat did that to you one time. We don't need to bring that up here.
But
Anyways. So they're just kind of like talking, chit-chatting. Ayame is doing his Ayame thing, where he's like, "Oh, you should come to my store."
Mm-hmm.
And Yuki's, after he'd gotten done embroidering Yuki's shirt, and it's a whole thing.
Brotherly
Yuki's
love.
upset. But Yuki says yes.
Yes, he does, which is surprising, but he does want to get to know his brother a little bit more.
Which I think that's very overwhelming for him.
Yeah.
And that's such a staunch like, why did this happen? Like, I know that we've talked about, like, oh, Yuki's growing, oh, he's going outside his comfort zone, like, this, that, the other thing, whatever. But, like, that's very uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
Being like, yeah, I'll go see your store after not going to see it for years and years of its existence.
Mm-hmm. One thing that I find... Oh, yeah. Sorry. One thing that I noticed last episode, but forgot to bring up, was that Kyo's really lucky because he has a father figure who will constantly back him up throughout anything. And he's always had that support system, but Yuki never did. The closest thing that he had for a steady support system throughout his entire life was Hatsuharu, and he hated him at first. Hatsuharu hated Yuki's guts. So to go from enemy to friend, and that's the closest person that you have to you throughout your entire life, not your parents, not anybody else, not your brother, no one, just like some kid in your family that hated you at first. I mean, poor Yuki.
So,
well, I think that's going to be the running theme of the episode is poor Yuki.
Yeah, honestly, I have that phrase exactly written all throughout my notes. Poor Yuki. But I also like how this episode and the last episode, like the last episode was very Kyo Toru centric. And this episode is, well, it's more very Yuki centric, but it's like, I feel like it's intended to be mirror images. Toru meets Kyo's family. One doesn't meet, but gets to know Kyo and his home environment a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And this time, we get to peek into Yuki's home environment a little bit more, and Toru's kind of experiencing it like we are a little bit. Like, not knowing, and then being like, oh, wow, this is your family situation. That's fascinating. Cool.
Something of note... Sorry, I just keep butting in, but something of note. I don't think they mentioned this in the anime, but in the manga, Ayame brought peaches, and he mentions that last time he brought crab, and if memory serves, those are Yuki's 2 favorite foods. So, just so you know, I don't know if they'll ever bring that up. I don't remember if it was just a note on the side that the mangaka had made about how those were his favorite foods, but yeah, crab and peaches, pretty sure.
Consider it. But not natto, because natto, well, I guess he likes natto, but ew. Anyways, so when Yuki agrees, I just thought it was funny. Last thing, kind of before the opening that I made note of, was that Ayame just is like, you can come, Toru, and you can come. Oh, Shigure, do you want to come? And then he runs up to Kyo's room and is like, you're not invited. And Kyo's just like, I don't want to be invited, so thanks. Go away.
And he's so calm about it.
I thought it was so funny. He's like, what are you talking about? I don't want to hang out with you. Please go away.
Even in an episode about Yuki, we still get Kyo character development. He didn't even yell. He didn't freak out like he normally would.
Yeah, it was so funny. But then the opening happens. And so where are we picking up from after the opening?
Oh gosh. So they're standing in front of Ayame's shop and just trying to figure out where to go from there.
Yeah, and when it's closed, whatever, they figure out that it is the store, and the sign's like a little bit eccentric.
Oh yeah.
And then I didn't really understand this, and so maybe you can clarify. When they walk into the store, like, I know that Mine was like crouched down behind like a thing or whatever.
Yeah.
But they look so shocked when is it because she's wearing a maid uniform? Is that why they're shocked when they see her?
Well, Yuki didn't even know what Ayame's shop was, let alone that he had people, like employees that worked for him, or that it was an employee that's a woman. So I feel like that's gotta be shocking. Like, my brother has a shop that sells weird things, apparently. And I'm here, and he has an employee, even though it says it's closed. And she's a woman, and she's in a maid outfit. What is going on?
I suppose so, but why is Toru? I don't know. I thought that was, like, that makes sense. But I thought that was weird at the time of, like, it happening. Why are you shocked by this? It's just a girl in a maid costume, and you know that they sell maid I don't know. And then Ayame comes out in a fabulous, absolutely fabulous. I love, we've been over it. I love Yuki. I love Ayame too. Like, top 3 favorite characters Ayame is. I think Ayame is so eccentric. It gives me life. It really gives me life.
I'm happy you like him. I was afraid that some people wouldn't.
Do people not like Ayame?
I don't know. I think some people don't like him. I know when I first read the manga, granted I was very young, but I was in it for the romance, so I was like, why is Ayame here? I don't care. He's annoying. He talks too much. And so I would get annoyed when he showed up.
In the manga, that would probably be a wall of text anytime he talked.
Those were big speech bubbles.
But I also like how when they eventually are sitting in the couches and just chit-chatting, Toru's so innocent. Like, she has no idea what store she's in, even though she's, like, in it, and he's describing it. She has no idea.
She's just so amazed.
Yeah, she doesn't... She's wide-eyed and like, ooh. When I was just like, oh no, don't be amazed. No, honey, don't. No, it's weird. I mean, I guess that's a little judgmental for me to say it's weird. It's not. It's just Toru, honey,
well,
no.
Considering the audience, a grown man telling some high schoolers that he makes bunny outfits for man's fetishes.
Okay.
Like, that's a little strange. And Toru's like, wow, the craftsmanship, the talent. And Yuki's just serving us reaction pic after reaction pic of him looking absolutely horrified.
Yeah, she's like bright-eyed or just like confused. And you don't even see Yuki's eyes.
Yeah.
Also, there's something uncanny and kind of like disconcerting about Mine. I just want, like, I don't know why, but she just off-puts me.
She is quite the manipulator. In, like, not in a bad way, but, like, definitely not in a bad way. She meant well, but she really knows how to play a situation.
But, like, she doubled, so, even when, she drags Toru into trying on an outfit again. I say poor Yuki, but she drags her in and then she's like, oh, don't worry, like, it's fine. And I wrote here, oh cool, Mi's actually chill. But then she said, nope, we're still gonna have you try something on. And so she like played it like, oh, we're friends, girl, like, it's fine, here, try this on. It's just like she keeps playing
Ooh, I have a theory about this. Especially, I'm coming at this from when I was reading the manga at this point. Mm-hmm. So this is not like future theory. This is like when I was at this point in the manga, I thought this. So don't worry, this is no spoiler territory.
Okay.
But at this point in the manga, I had realized that a lot of characters were trying to set up Toru and Yuki as a couple. Like, Hatsuharu was really prodding it. Like, he was the biggest advocate of Toru and Yuki. Because he's the one who got Toru to start calling Yuki by his first name. He's the one who keeps trying to get Yuki to call Toru by her first name. He's the one who keeps being like, oh, Yuki, Toru was really sad and she was really anxious and worried about you. And then Yuki's like, oh, what? Toru worried about me? Because he knows that Yuki's gonna start paying attention and changing his life if Toru's worried about him. So Hatsuharu is the biggest supporter of the Toru-Yuki fan club. And it looks like Ayame and Mine are too. So I was thinking that the reason why Mine wanted to get Toru all dressed up is because she knew it would make Yuki blush.
Oh.
Gotta get that ship together.
Oh, wow. They're trying to dock that ship.
I really think so.
Bring it into harbor.
Mm-hmm. But that was my theory.
I mean, that makes sense. Kind of moving into kind of less fun and quirky stuff.
Yeah.
They get into their kind of discussion, and Yuki, so his parents apparently sold him away like a tool. So this was kind of set up last episode, I think, because the people who take care of the Zodiac members get paid a handsome fee, right?
Yeah, they get money to provide for them, and they get extra funds. Yeah.
Yeah. But they specifically said they sold him, so it's not like they're bringing in money for that, unless those were his biological parents that were featured here. They were like grabbing his arm and being low-key, high-key abusive to him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's his biological mother.
Okay, but she's probably still getting paid to harbor a Zodiac.
No, because for example, if Kyo's biological dad gave away Kyo, and Kazuma now takes care of him, Kazuma is getting paid.
Yeah.
So if Yuki's mother gives away Yuki, then she's not getting paid.
Him. Well, yeah, but she's getting paid at that moment. Okay, right?
For selling him?
No, for while she's having him live with her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if they sold him, who would want to buy a Zodiac member when she was actively taking care of two of them, his older brother for a long time and little Yuki? And so we know that he has a bad history, like a very traumatic history with Akito. He sees Akito and he's just shook.
Mm-hmm.
And so what if they sold him to Akito? Was it said in the episode that that's who, or did I literally just theorize that?
I mean, it's the natural progression of the theorizing. They did not specifically say that, but he is at the same age that he was when he was with Akito. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I feel like that's not a leap. So that's I don't know. That disturbs me a lot. Like, no wonder the boy doesn't want to open up. His parents literally sold him and his brother didn't do anything.
Yeah. And then he goes through years of trauma.
Yeah.
Begging to leave.
So I had to do, for those who aren't familiar, I'm currently studying to get my master's in counseling right now. And I just did a trauma training. And that, I'm not going to go too far into this, don't worry. I could talk about this for a long time. But that ties in with something in terms of childhood trauma called the ACE pyramid, okay? And what the ACE pyramid is generally specific points of trauma for children that they experience. And depending on where the child's at on the pyramid, depends on how they're going to kind of experience that trauma, to put it really simply. And so I'm shocked that he's able to function as well as he is, considering all of the trauma that he's experienced, you know? Or maybe we just haven't seen enough yet, but it's wild.
Yeah, he's a fighter.
And so...
it just makes me so emotional, this scene.
I
Yeah, go on. What are your thoughts?
I also think it's just shocking. Well, it not shocking at all, really, actually, but how he broke away from his parents and went to IMA, and that's why IMA's trying to reconnect with him. Like, he feels horribly guilty about that moment in particular, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, that he keeps comparing himself, IMA, keeps comparing himself with their parents. And he's so different because he regrets what happened with Yuki, whereas it seems like their parents do not. They're still not making an effort to talk to Yuki. He's essentially still just a tool that they sold. Yeah. So that's, it breaks me down.
Yeah. So, and I don't think I said what ACE stood for when I was talking about that earlier, so just to loop back to that, it stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, just so that if anyone wanted to look that up, they can. But
yes.
I think it's super interesting. Don't want to get too deep into that, though.
Yeah. Okay, so some things that I need to ask you so we can theorize. So, Aya said that he essentially sold Yuki as well as a way to live his life freely. What do you think that means?
Well, Akito wanted a Zodiac member, and so IMA was like, yo, why not Yuki? I don't want to do it. Because from what I can tell, it seems like Akito gets fixated on certain Zodiac members from time to time. Like, because we saw him with Shigure a lot for a little bit. And then and maybe I'm completely off base on this, but I feel like there's like this fixation piece from time to time. And so maybe it was time to get a new Zodiac, and IMA was like, not me. Why not Yuki? You know?
Do you think there's a specific reason why it was Yuki? Like, do you think there's something special about Yuki that sets him apart? Or anything like why would it be Yuki?
I don't know, because Yuki's the rat, and the rat's cunning and kind of screwed over the cat. And if my God theory is correct, didn't God technically like the cat initially?
I believe so.
Like, before the cat didn't show up, but the rat tricked the cat into not coming to that dinner, I believe, if I remember the legend right. So what if it's almost like a comeuppance kind of thing? Like, ooh, I'll torture the rat. Like, I'll really make the rat's life awful. Because the rat is awful too. You know?
Yeah, the rat did ride the ox.
Yeah. The rat rode the ox. The rat tricked the cat. Like, Akito hates the cat because the cat didn't show up, assuming that it's God. And hates the rat because it's a manipulative little bugger. Not saying Yuki is, but just in the legend.
Yeah. I'm not confirming nor denying, but that is a good theory. Okay.
So,
another thing, let me see in my little notes.
Yuki has no idea what he wants to do is reiterated.
Oh, yeah.
And I like how IMA always has these, like, it kind of almost profound moments, but then he dovetails it with a huge, like, over-the-top compliment of himself.
Oh, yeah, he does that. I love that about him.
Like, one that I wrote down is his innate grace and charisma.
Mm-hmm.
And I just... I also liked how he talked about how he wants to be able to add to the world, not just take from it.
Yeah. I think that's so admirable.
Mm-hmm.
I like that insight. I really enjoyed that he comforted Yuki, probably for the first time he's ever been comforted. Mm-hmm. And he says, it'll be okay, you're nobody's tool, and you're not alone. And after everything that's happened,
Mm-hmm. And that they're like foils of one another. And you can even see that, like, they're so opposite, but then they find that common ground almost. Yuki doesn't mention it, but like between the gardening and the making clothes of wanting to add to the world, not take from it.
Mm-hmm. They are secretly similar.
And Ayame doesn't know it yet, but Yuki does.
I also liked that they both served on the student council, and Ayame points that out. And he's like, oh, you certainly did it because I was the student council president. And Yuki says, no, I did it because I didn't want to do it. Which brings me back to that episode where we meet Kisa. And that was his promise that if she went back to school and she did something that was uncomfortable for her, to go back into that room of people who bullied her, and to the point where she was experiencing selective mutism. And Yuki, and Yuki is like, you know what, I really am uncomfortable with situations like this. I don't want to have to go out of my way to be in any type of situation where I have to talk to people all the time and deal with all of this unnecessary grief and have to manage things, and that's just not like him. He's always been the person who gets shoved to the side or is in a dark room just thinking about how he'd like to leave, but he just can't. So he's never been the type of person to step out of his comfort zone or step out of the room that's dark and open up the curtains or anything like that. That's never been him. So he went out of his comfort zone to go join the student council. It was something that he did not want to do, but Kisa didn't want to go back to school. So sometimes you just gotta do it to make yourself better. It makes me so emotional. He did so well.
Yeah, and I respect that. It's one of the reasons why Yuki's like one of my favorite characters. Like, I respect that mindset of sometimes you have to push yourself or else you're not going to grow. And so he's actively taking that stance to grow as a human being, or as a rat, however you want to see him. And I really, really enjoyed how he said that I did it because I didn't want to, like you were saying.
Yeah, and he's even stepping out of his comfort zone with having emotions and showing other people what those emotions are. In episode 1, he was laughing out in public. Hey now. That's my line usually. But in episode 1, he was laughing out in the wild, just in front of the school, just being wild and carefree, which we've never seen him be before. And now he's showing emotions in front of Ayame. He's getting frustrated. He's feeling emotional. He's becoming reflective over his past. And Ayame says that he is so happy that Yuki's able to feel something and he's letting him see it.
Yeah.
That's big for him. So much growth.
And then Toru comes out.
Yes. In her sweet dress, Toru is baby.
How did you feel about, like, her walking out?
I mean, she doesn't know what to do with herself, and I didn't know what to do with myself. Homegirl was so embarrassed. It was really sweet.
Yeah, she looked so shy and just, like, almost distressed that this was happening to her. But also, like, it seemed like she liked the outfit.
Yeah, like, she thought it was really cute.
But then when she sat down next to... I wrote this very specifically, and maybe a lot of people will disagree with me, but there was no romantic chemistry. Like, at all.
How so?
Like, okay, like, you could argue that there was that one moment towards the end of that interaction where he was like, you look cute. And, like, everyone was really flustered and all that. And maybe you could chalk, like... But it didn't feel as though it was... Like, in the last episode, if you look at how her and kind of Kyo interact versus how her and Yuki interact, it's not the same at all, you know? It's a lot more, I want to say, intimate with Kyo, and maybe that's just the context of where they were at. Her and Kyo were alone, whereas she was in front of Mine and Ayame in this context. But it felt more like friends, you know?
Like, it felt very respectful.
Yeah. Not that, like, Kyo doesn't feel respectful, because he does. But it didn't, like, I don't know.
No, I get exactly what you're saying. And the reason I use the word respectful is because Yuki won't even refer to her by her first name, which is a very respectful thing to do.
Yeah.
Just say Honda-san.
And maybe, like, he's just, like, maybe he just doesn't know how to express it. Maybe he does have a thing for her. I don't know. I feel like he might. There have been enough kind of cues towards that. But the chemistry just was not the same. Like, it was vastly different than with Kyo. And I think that kind of these episodes being back-to-back really kind of highlights that and emphasizes that difference. And yeah. Like, Ayame made more of a move than Yuki did.
That's so Ayame.
Well, yeah, I mean, like, that, fair enough. Like, that's just him. But...
And then he has to go and call Hattori.
Yes.
And Hattori's holding the phone so far away, like,
like,
he's calling again.
Like, you're not calling Shigure.
I don't want to hear about your fantasies. Oh my goodness.
Also,
Ayame and Hattori are funny.
Yes. Also, this is completely off topic, but a lot of the music in this episode felt very Stardew Valley-esque. I don't know if you noticed that, but it felt like I was playing Stardew Valley while I was listening to this episode.
Yeah, the background music was really... I don't know.
Like, the instruments, specifically, like, it felt very much summer or spring of Stardew Valley. I don't know. I wrote that down because I thought that was fun, and I was like, wow, I want to play Stardew Valley now. But...
Okay, we're at the end of the episode, so
yes.
Is there anything else that you wanted to say before we wrap this thing on up?
I think that is all I kind of had.
Okay, cute. All right. So this was the last episode that we will be watching in dub because it's the last episode that is available in dub. Yes. Unfortunately, due to our current situation in the world, we cannot get any voice actors available from Funimation to record anything more in English right now. So we're going to have to wait on that. And we'll be watching the subbed version in future episodes. So, and as will you, probably.
Yes, most likely. Unless you're watching this far in the future, in which case I hope the dub's good. I imagine it is, because I love it.
I can't wait to hear it. And our next episode is titled I Got Dumped.
Ooh, zesty.
Spicy.
We'll be releasing our episode for episode 4 here pretty soon. So if you like this video, you want to hear more of us talking about Fruits Basket, then like, comment, and subscribe down below. And as always, we'll see you in the next one. Have a great rest of your days.
See ya.
Bye.